According to this book, I'm currently in the #1 worst place to live in the UK, which means there is practically nothing else to do other than learn quantum mechanics. In my last video, I talked about me creating a website, and that website is terrible. It's just completely terrible. And there's basically nothing on the website, so I thought, I might as well write about quantum mechanics. The only problem with that, of course, is that I don't know any quantum mechanics like most of the people on this planet. So I guess then we come back to the whole I've got nothing else better to do than learn quantum mechanics thing. So basically over the next 24 hours, I'm going to learn quantum mechanics. Somehow, some way. Yeah. There is one fatal flaw in my plan, however, and that is that I am an idiot. Therefore, due to my insurmountable idiocracy, it is going to be very hard for me to learn quantum mechanics, especially in such a short period of time. So, I've employed the help of a company which I'm sure we've all heard of, Brilliant.org. No, this video is not sponsored by Brilliant.org. I have 15 subscribers. You really think they're going to sponsor someone with 15 subscribers? I mean, if they want to, then they can. I don't see why not. But they haven't. And I have instead just fallen for their marketing all by myself. Yup, I actually got Brilliant.org. And they had a course on quantum mechanics with 6 lessons and like 24 exercises or something. So basically, I'm just going to speedrun that, take a couple of notes, and write a short piece for my website about quantum mechanics. This video has not gone to plan. I filmed 2 segments for part 2, The Grind, and both times I had the camera facing a wall, which meant that none of the footage is usable. And since the failure of that filming, I've managed to learn practically 0 quantum mechanics, and somehow I've managed to fly halfway across the world. Which basically means, thanks to a serial case of procrastination and a 10-hour plane ride, basically I've failed the challenge. But it's not like I learned nothing. So, as you already know, I use Brilliant.org to learn quantum mechanics, or at least to learn some quantum mechanics. And I do think that it actually was pretty decent. It took kind of roundabout ways to describe some kind of basic fundamentals of the science. But I think that was good, and it gave you a lot of knowledge specifically on photons as well as just general quantum mechanics. So basically in the first lesson we talked about this thing called interference, and there was a ton of stuff about waves and them cancelling out and stuff. But the main key takeaway that I got from that lesson, which I noted down, is that a photon is a particle that acts like a wave. That completely shook me. I did not understand that concept at all. But as we went on through the course, things started to make sense, and they introduced things called kets, which is basically a way to describe every single quantum particle. So basically, after learning about kets and the direction of kets and how that basically tells us everything about a quantum particle, we could then look into superpositions and how everything can kind of be described as one ket can be described as a superposition of 2 other kets. And that's basically as far as I got in the 24-hour challenge. Now, do I think that that is enough to write about for my website? Probably not. It's definitely something, and there's definitely stuff I could talk about in the article or in the page or whatever I'm going to make it on my website. But I do definitely want to take a couple of more lessons on Brilliant to make sure that the piece on the website is actually semi-decent. So overall, this challenge and this video has been a bit of a failure, and you've basically no reason to watch this video. This is just kind of a waste of your time. I'm sorry. But hey, you might as well subscribe. And if you want to learn more about that website that I'm building, and that website which I'll eventually talk about quantum mechanics about, then you can click on the video here. And if you want to subscribe to see the video where I actually talk about quantum mechanics on my website, then you could subscribe here. And please leave any video suggestions down below, because I'm trying to make a new video every week for summer, which is kind of why I'm rushing this video. But yeah, goodbye.